Ois Dalet. So now the Rebbe will explain how the fact that Rashi explains that bikufitz, that you break the neck of the egla, how this, in comparison, that Rashi already discussed and brought down a similar idea by a person who refuses to redeem his firstborn donkey. The pasuk says va'araftoi, and you compare the two Rashis, you'll see what Rashi is trying to say over here, that this seems to be going totally contrary to the idea of shechita, which is a compassionate way of killing the animal, versus the case of araftoi, arifo, which is breaking the neck. And this is something which really doesn't fit. How is this a kapora, as the Rebbe will explain? Let's look inside. Dalet. But those Verstehen Bahagdim will understand this by introducing was früher in Parshas Boy, earlier in the portion of Boy, by Peter Chamoir, we talk about the firstborn of a donkey. Is Rashi mefadish of the imloy sivda? The Rashi explains, it says, if you do not redeem it. So the pasuk says there va'araftoi. So what does it mean va'araftoi? Rashi explains that oirfoi bekufitz me'achoyrov, that you chop off with a kupis, with a sharp knife from the back, and you kill the donkey. And then Rashi also explains, and he says, the reason we do it is who hifsid memoine shel kohen, since he had caused a loss of monetary to the kohen by not redeeming the chamoir and giving the kohen the proceeds, lefikoch yafsid memoine. That's why he should be losing his money as well. Farvos is Rashi do mishane. How come Rashi changes from Pirushe beParshas Boy than his commentary in the portion of Boy? Why is Rashi change over here? V'choch azer zogdem tam hu hifsid chulu behemshech lePirushe v'do oiv v'araftoi. Although over there it also gives the reason why the araftoi hu hifsid, to follow his interpretation of what happens v'araftoi, to chop off the head. Rashi gives an explanation who hifsid, that he made a loss, and same as Rashi does here after v'araftoi, Rashi gives the explanation. Zokter nit derbai Omar HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'parshasenu. But over there, it doesn't say that Hashem said, like in our parsha. And Al Pi Hanal is the smuvan. Based on the above, that here the issue is that it's a kapore, but it's not following the procedures that we know from the Torah of Shechita for kapora matters. Over here, we have a question: why do this arifa in this way versus the regular way of shechita? But over there, we don't have an issue. Why? Because over there, we're trying to punish the person for not redeeming the donkey, and therefore the way to punish him is by not just killing the donkey, but killing the donkey in such a way which is painful, which causes pain for the owner as well, because this is something which is pain to the animal, and the owner feels bad for his animal, so that's a punishment. But by us, it's not a punishment. By us, it's a kapora. Based on the above, it's understood. Arifa legabi shechita, to chop off the head like with relative to shechting it is miso ba'ofen achzori. That's killing in a cruel way. When you chop off with the sharp knife from the back, over there, the death of the animal comes through pain, through torture and pain. As opposed to shechting it from the neck, because you don't break the bone of the neck, as can be seen by the 5-year-old, seeing that it's not going through, it's going straight to the animal's simonim to shecht it, but not breaking the neck. Und Rashi is masbir b'Peter Chamoir. So Rashi explains, when we talk about the opening the firstborn of the donkey, those was Torah zokt. The reason why Torah says in loitiv devar after, if you don't redeem it, you need to do arifa meint nit as der mensch hot abrede for zwei gleiche mitzvahs, doesn't mean that a person has a choice from two equal mitzvahs. The Torah says you should redeem it. If you don't want to redeem it, then var after. So it's your option what to do. No, you can't either tivde b'seh, redeem it for a sheep, or der var after, or you should kill the donkey by arafte. No, that's not the case. The pa'ula from Ofer bekoifetz ma'achoyde v'hoyde, this act of chopping it up with the kupitz, with a sharp knife from the back and killing it, is an einish. That is a punishment. That's not an equal. It's not an option, but it's a punishment. That's what Rashi explains. Hayois hu yifsid memoyne shel kohen, since he caused a monetary loss to the kohen because he didn't redeem it for the sheep. Lefikoch yapsid memoyne. That's why his money, his donkey, should be lost. Kidei madgish zayin ados is an inyan from Hafset, but in order to emphasize that this is something which is a loss, verdos giton in them from varafte, then it's done in a way of varafte. Vos is an achzoris, that is a cruelty. The hefset b'chaye hachamoir, and a loss in the life of the donkey. Obemela, because it's a cruel way and a loss in the donkey's life. Obemela, so that is also means this similarly also impacts the owner of the donkey. As we see, practically, as I mentioned, that a person is touched by the pain of his animals that's the but over there Rashi doesn't say Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem said, Warum dort is nitokin shinui legabe mitzvahs dugmase. Over there is no change with regards to other mitzvahs that would be similar to the mitzvah of the chamoir that you have to arafte for not redeeming it. Says doch nit kein korban kapora toido taru, because it's not a korban, it's not an offering of an atonement, it's not a thank you, and it's not purifiable. So there's nothing, is not comparing it to anything to say that it's different than anything, to say Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu, a new style. So that's what this doesn't say there, Omer HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The parsha say no aber, but in our parsha, however, an inyan from kapore, that is a matter of atonement, because we're saying kaper v'ni kaper lehem adom. Inyan from kapore is such as their prat. Although this detail so the detail from Mokoim Vudos Verd Giton, the place where it's done, Normally, it's done in the Beis Hamikdash, but in this case, it's Nachal Eisun Kosher Shaloi Nebad. It's a strong, hard valley which has not been worked at. Is nit vikapore bakapore shal de karbonas Beis Hamikdash. It's not like the